There are 66 species of carnivorous insect-eating plants in the United States, and an astounding 36 of them live in the state of North Carolina. Acidic soils with low nutrients and a high water table provide excellent habitat for carnivorous plants such as Venus flytraps to thrive. The Venus flytrap Dionaea muscipula is one of the most fire-dependent carnivorous plant species known in the United States and has evolutionarily adapted to phosphorus and nitrogen-poor environments that are frequented by fire. Venus flytraps are endemic to North Carolina and South Carolina, specifically the longleaf pine ecosystems in the coastal plains and sandhills of the Carolinas. While Venus flytraps can be planted and naturalized in other areas, they are only native within a 75-mile radius around Wilmington, North Carolina. In the coastal plains where they occur most abundantly, Venus flytraps thrive in wet, loamy, or sandy pine savannas. In the sandhills, flytraps are limited to the moist transitional area between streamhead precosins within uplands dominated by the longleaf pine and Carolina wiregrass. Along with being our official state carnivorous plant, the Venus flytrap is considered a species of special concern in North Carolina and has been petitioned for registration on the endangered species list. Its conservation status will remain vulnerable without continuous management that encourages prescribed fire. The Venus flytrap is a monotypic genus, meaning that it is the only species within its genus, and it is likely to become endangered unless the circumstances that are threatening its survival improve. Thus, the role of prescribed fire is critical for Venus flytrap management. Venus flytraps can be found in the underlying herbaceous layer within a forest or wooded area. Venus flytraps are perennials, meaning that they bloom year after year, and like most plants, depend on a lot of sunlight for survival. An open overstory, sparse midstory, and understory, free of dense woody stems, is crucial for direct sunlight to reach the forest floor and let flytraps thrive. Hardwood plant species suppress Venus flytraps and other light-dependent forbs by outcompeting them for sunlight and other resources. Hence, frequent burns, especially during the growing season, help reduce the growth of woody plant species. In the past decade, Venus flytrap populations have rapidly declined. One of the main threats to Venus flytraps is habitat loss due to fire suppression and lack of prescribed fires, which leads to the shrub and tree encroachment of fire-intolerant hardwoods and gradual habitat degradation. In an ideal world, Venus flytrap habitat would receive annual prescribed fire every 1 to 2 years during the growing season. Growing season prescribed fire is conducted when the herbaceous grasses and forbs are actively growing during May through September, the frost-free period of the year. These controlled burns rely on last year's vegetative growth as fuel in order to conduct the burn. Unfortunately, annual controlled burns can be difficult to achieve due to land development and the resulting smoke that could blow into nearby residential areas. So it is imperative that the larger preserves maintain Venus flytraps. North Carolina's Green Swamp Preserve is managed by the Nature Conservancy, a global organization dedicated to conserving both land and water in an effort to protect nature. The Green Swamp Preserve contains some of the nation's most pristine examples of longleaf pine savannas and is home to extensive populations of Venus flytrap and other biodiversity that benefits from prescribed fire, such as Bachman's sparrow. North Carolina laws prohibit the removal of Venus flytraps from the preserve, and poaching flytraps has recently become a felony. The Nature Conservancy's fire management activities at the Green Swamp include controlled burning and restoring pine plantations into longleaf pine savannas.
Hi, I'm Zach West over for the Nature Conservancy in Wilmington, North Carolina. On a lot of our preserves, you can find Venus flytraps. One of the reasons is they like wet soils and they need a lot of sunlight. They also grow on nutrient deficient soils. Fire is important for Venus flytrap habitat because it takes away a lot of the competition. Venus flytraps are pretty small plants and they can easily be shaded out by other grasses, other shrubs, things like that. And so fire kind of clears away some of that competition so they can still get sunlight.
Prescribed fire during the growing season is a key ecological process in sustaining longleaf pines and wiregrass communities. Prescribed fire increases urban grass cover while decreasing shrub cover and has the potential to maintain open pine savanna conditions highly favored by Venus flytraps and many other fire-dependent plant and animal species. Therefore, it is important that we maintain high-frequency, low-intensity fire management regimes to sustain the Venus flytrap and other fire-dependent species.